Yo, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to another episode of the Dollar Tree Gems. So today I'm actually going to be revamping the show a little bit, changing what it's all about. It's just ever so slightly. Originally this was just going to be a series. I was just going to keep going and going and going and going and going, and there was going to be like no correlation, no connections. But I decided I'd rather turn this into a connected, shared universe or whatever. And by that I mean this is actually going to be a series that kind of connects to each other, and basically, Dollar Tree Gem. I'm trying to find a movie that is at the Dollar Tree that I think is actually a good quality movie that deserves to be more than just some Dollar Tree level movie. And so far, the two movies that I've seen from the Dollar Tree weren't very great. So I think I'm kind of going to start comparing them against each other and trying to figure out which is the best of the best. And by the end of season 1, which will probably be about 14 or 15 episodes, I'm going to tell you which one is the best of all the ones that I've watched. And I'll actually probably make a video ranking all of the ones that I've watched as of that point. So, with that being said, today we got another one for us. We got a comedy. I am very... not in the mood to try to watch like a scary movie. Like, scary movies scare the shit out of me, and 3 of the ones I have over there are scary movies. So today I'm gonna go with this one. It's called Charlie Bartlett, and from my little amount of research that I did and reading the back of this, I'm pretty sure this is kind of supposed to be like Ferris Bueller's Day Off, where it's like a fun high school movie. This kid is really cool, he's popular, he has a lot of connections. I could be wrong. I think that this character is supposed to be like a drug dealer or something. Not entirely sure, but it has Robert Downey Jr. in it, as Kat Dennings in it, so it has a couple people who I know are pretty funny and can carry a nice comedic movie, so I'm hoping that this is decent, that this is worth watching. But anyways, I'm gonna go put it in, watch it, and I will get back with you guys in a little bit. Okay, so I just finished watching it. This movie was surprisingly really good. Apparently everything that I read based off of the back of this and everything that I've seen on the trailers was kind of missing a lot of like key elements to the plot, but like this movie was pretty good, and you will never believe who was in it. I will give you a couple hints, but I really want you guys to try to guess who was in it. So your first hint is going to be, it's a famous musician. Man, that's actually the only hint that I got for it. There's a famous musician who's in this, who is kind of an unexpected person who you would expect to see acting in a role as a high school kid who is a part of a theater club. But he's in it, and it blew my mind. Anyways, so if you guys have a guess, go for it. And now I'm going to reveal, look at that. Yeah, that's a young Drake. Drake was in this movie. And I'm not gonna lie, when I first saw it, it literally, like, I had to completely, like, stop everything. I was like, what the? No way, that's who I actually thought it was. And then I did a bunch of research, and it's him. He was in this movie. That's crazy. Also, I have no idea how old this movie is, but apparently it's a lot older than I thought it was. But yeah, so this movie had RDJ in it, which was my main reason for wanting to get it. And I think that RDJ's performance in it was pretty good. This was pre-Iron Man. And I think it was also before some of his, like, worst, like, drug abuse problems that he had in real life was. So, seeing this was definitely eye-opening. I thought he was really good in this. I thought that he was really great. And something that I liked about this movie was it was a great story about multiple people having a lot of different trauma issues and how they respond to it, a bunch of different trauma issues. And then the overall plot for the majority of the movie is Charlie Bartlett, who is the main character, is using his wealth and the fact that his family has a personal, like, doctor and a personal therapist and a personal pharmaceutical and all these different things to his advantage. And he's getting medication to help out other people around him. And it's kind of a big thing is he's using his richness and his popularity to help other people get help in ways that he probably shouldn't be. He's messing around. He's getting people drugs and stuff that he probably shouldn't be giving them. He's trying to be a therapist, essentially. And for the most part, he does a really good job. He's reading people really well. Every time he has like a meeting and a conversation with somebody, he can kind of like talk to them and help them see parts of what's going on with them that they might not realize themselves, and he's kind of helping them understand kind of what they're going through. And I think that it's actually really beautifully well done in this movie. I think that he does seem like he would be a very good therapist. And something that I really like about this movie is it explores a lot of different people dealing with a lot of different issues. Some of the main characters in this movie are Robert Downey Jr.'s character. He's a principal. And something that I like about this is they do a great job of showing that him and his daughter, who's played by Kat Dennings, are having a big separation issue. They're not really close anymore. They don't talk much anymore. And the reason for it is because his wife and him got divorced or whatever, so that kind of drove him not in the best spot. And then he went from being a history teacher, which he really loved, he was really enjoying his job back when he was a history teacher, to he got promoted to principal. He took the promotion because he was trying to make ends meet and he needed more money, and he kind of hates his job, hates his life, and he became a crazy alcoholic who has a lot of issues. And the daughter, also dealing with trauma from the fact that her parents are divorced and she doesn't see her mother anymore, started smoking. So they both picked different forms of depressants to kind of help cope with the trauma that they're dealing with, and it separates them from each other as well. And then Charlie Bartlett, who in the eyes of the principal is just a dumb kid who's going around and making his job a lot harder, is kind of realizing that these people really need to reconnect with each other. And he kind of teaches people originally, hey, use this medicine, it'll help you out, it'll make you feel better, to by the end realizing that what you really need to do is embrace life and embrace each other, embrace love, try to connect with people, and it'll make your day a lot better. And I thought that it was a very beautiful story. I thought it was really well done. Something that I really like about this is it has a lot of stereotype characters, and then reveal later on in the story that they're not the stereotype character. They're trying to get better, they just haven't. And part of the reason is maybe they're coping with addiction, maybe they're coping with the loss of somebody really important to them, maybe they're dealing with feeling alone, which is something that this movie portrays really well. Something that I like about this movie, if you guys are musical fans and you know Dear Evan Hansen, big plot point of that movie is a lot of people feel alone, but you are not alone, right? And that's like a big thing that they try to point out is you're not alone. There are people who are there for you. There are people who might know what you're going through. You just have to reach out, stay connected. One of my favorite lines that was in this movie, there was a couple good lines actually in here. One of my favorite lines is RDJ is talking to Charlie Bartlett, who I do not know the name of that actor, but he did phenomenal. I thought that he did really good. But he's talking to him, and he says, everything you do matters. And that is such an important line, and it kind of helps him like redefine who he is as a person, because as of this point in the movie, he's mostly just selling drugs to people, and he's mostly still kind of in it for popularity / trying to make money. And after that, he realizes he really needs to be there for people, and he really needs to be a shoulder to cry on, a friend, somebody who can be there to help them out and talk them through whatever they're going through. And I really like that perspective on the character. I really like that outlook on life as a whole. And I think that RDJ's performance and the way that he's kind of helping him see that what you're doing is affecting others, and it's changing how they feel about themselves, how they feel about the world. And it's a huge thing, because when you're young, you don't realize that what you're doing really matters. And I feel like that kind of eye-opening conversation is really important. Something that I like about this movie, there's also a lot of darker tones. There is a scene where a kid is typing out a suicide letter, and then he overdoses on the medicine that Charlie Bartlett got him, and that's kind of a big thing that leads to the speech where, that leads to the scene where RDJ is talking to him, and he's like, hey, everything you do matters. Why are you doing this? And he kind of helps him, like, realize that what he's doing might not actually be benefiting people. Despite him thinking that he's doing the right thing and he's trying to help people out, he's not. It could potentially be making some things worse for some people. But what I do like after that, though, is after we see the scene where the kid tries to kill himself, he's now in the hospital, and Charlie Bartlett comes and visits him, and he gives him a friend and a shoulder to cry on, and he just plays video games with him. And he explains to him that, hey, there are a lot of people out there, but you are someone special. There's a reason you are here. And then something that I like about it is he uses, once again, his popularity to try to help this kid out. And Charlie Bartlett, by this point in the movie, is a very resourceful person. He has a lot of friends. He has a lot of connections. And something that he does have is he's kind of had multiple conversations with the principal, and the principal wants him to try to stop selling drugs, do better things that you can do to help out the people in need, right? And so the kid who was very suicidal is now playing video games with Charlie Bartlett, and he's like, hey, there is one thing that I actually really wanted to, work on and maybe talk to you about, and it's a play. He has a play right out, and he really wants to be able to, share it with people who might see it and appreciate it and like it. And Charlie Bartlett reads it, and it's kind of parallels the story that the people in the movie are going through a lot, and he realizes this is really important. We need to see if we can get this performed. So he goes to the principal, they work on that, they get that done, and it's kind of a really big thing, because it shows you really just need to be able to embrace the best version of yourself, and it can work out in your favor. Another time where this happens is there's a character in it who's like stereotypical bad boy. He's bullying Charlie when he first comes to school. He's an absolute dick. And then we realize part of the reason why he is the way that he is because back when he was younger, he was in theater and people made fun of him for it. People treated him like crap. And he's a really broke person. He always has to walk home. He doesn't live like the best life. And Charlie kind of helps him out with this. And first of all, they start off as business partners, and he's helping him make money so that he's not as dirt poor as he is. He doesn't necessarily have to walk home anymore. But he also helps him realize with the girl that he likes that being himself can really help him out with that. And he teaches him to embrace the best version of himself because he really always wanted to be a theater kid, but he got picked on for it, so now he's being a dick instead. And Charlie Bartlett helps him realize that maybe that's not the best way. And by the end, that character gets his happy ending where he goes on a date with the girl. And it's really nice and good for him. And then he also, at the end of the movie, is performing on stage as a theater kid instead of just being a total prick, which I love. It was great. Loved it. Overall, I thought that this movie was very solid, though. Like, not gonna lie, as far as Dollar Tree movies go, I think that this was probably one of the better movies I've seen. This movie is actually incredibly solid. So right off the bat, I'm thinking this is definitely going to be one of my top 3 or top 5 because a lot of the other Dollar Tree movies that I have sitting on my bookshelf probably not going to be as good as this one. But that being said, I liked it. I thought it was really good. If you guys ever see this at the Dollar Tree, I definitely would recommend picking it up because it's $1.25 and it's $1.25 worth it. This movie is about an hour 30-minute long, and I really liked it, and I would definitely recommend it. But yeah, so that being said, my final rating for this movie, I'm going to give it a solid 87 out of 100. I thought that it was really good. I thought that a lot of the character work was really good, and a lot of the acting in it was really good. But yeah, so that was it for this video, guys. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out. Pow, pow, pow.